What are you thinking right now? I mean, it started off as a great start to the season, but now it's becoming consistency, right?
Like I say, I always say I give praise to my O-line, man. Like I said, if it, another one would be possible without them. So, like I always say, they scored the touchdowns, I didn't. So, I just go back to, just staying focused and keep my mind straight because we still got more games to go. So, my focus now is just on Michigan State now. So.
Can you walk me through the run at the end of the first half? That looked, obviously, you had the intent to score there. It was a huge play in the game. Great field goal out of it.
Yeah, back to the first thing I said, my O-line blocked great, broke some tackles and, got into the end zone. So that was just how it was. So.
Talking about the O-line, we were just chatting with Mason and I asked him if, you make sure to tell them in person, they give them the credit, and he said yes, and you're offering to buy them dinner, but they've said no, they haven't let you buy them dinner yet?
Yeah, it just hasn't been a thing that we did yet, but it's gonna happen for sure. They deserve it. So I'm gonna make that happen for them.
They're accruing a better and better meal the more games.
Yeah, they are. So they are. So yeah, I love them guys, man. So
halfway through the season, you're within shouting distance of 1,000 yards, and 2,000 seems to be a realistic possibility if things go well. What kind of goals did you set for yourself before the season, and is that something that you did put down? Or?
My goal was to get over 1,200 yards and 12 TDs. So. I guess I'm almost there, so shoot. So yeah.
When you're running just any game, do you prefer to run? It seems like when you're ahead, you're running downhill, not literally, but and you get a lot of steam going when you're ahead, and you got that aggressiveness. Do you prefer running when you're ahead or behind? Do you like that feeling when your team's ahead by 2 or 3 touchdowns and just kind of slamming the door?
I feel like it's both for me. Like. I like being a both player where I can use my speed or I can be physical. That was the big thing. I was, as I told some of you guys here, to be more physical and, to pound people if they're my way. So that's what I'm doing more of this year and, showing what I can do as far as that too. So.
1,200 yards, was that to average 100 a game?
Yeah, but I know it's going to be some games that it's going to be pretty hard to do. So, like I said, just go keep my mind straight and keep me focused and humbled and, focus on Michigan State. So.
Are you going to adjust those goals?
I don't know. I'm just whatever happens, happens. So just keep my mind straight, keep me focused. So.
Caleb, you guys only had the ball for about 25 minutes, but it just seemed like you guys were really wearing them out despite not having the ball a lot. Was there a moment in the game where you guys as an offensive unit kind of looked at each other and said, okay, let's just slam the door, we have the edge, let's just go out and get it?
Yeah, that's been from first quarter. Like that's how we always come to the game as a mindset, as a team, and as a quarterback, as an O-line, my O-line, they always come to the game. We go continue to pound them. It's there. We just got to open it up. It's there. Just keep reminding me to cut back, and it's there and all that, and I do it, and to be successful. So.
I don't want to pit you up against anybody, but I mean, do you feel like you're the best back in the game right now?
To me, I know. I'm a humble person, so I don't want to say that, but it's other great backs. I feel like I'm one of them, so that's what I say. I feel like I'm one of the great backs. So.
Caleb, I'm sure that you knew that they knew what was coming. How satisfying is it to still be really successful on the ground?
I know. Surprisingly, one of my boys, he don't play football, but he showed me a little thing on Twitter where they was saying that I was the best player he ever played against or whatever. So, I took that in consideration. I'm like, yeah, they're going to be kidding me, so I'm going to, just continue to run down their throats and show what I can do. So I did this game, so.
At the about 2-minute mark, you gave Kirk a hug on the sideline, and then he kind of acknowledged the crowd and everything. Well, what are your thoughts about him, and what, he's meant to you, and then also what he means for this team?
To be honest, he's just such a to himself person, and he just such focus on us, and he don't care about the outside world. He block out all the outside noise, and he just focuses on us. So I just really appreciate him for, just continue to give me chances and continue to show my abilities and stuff like that. So that's why I gave him a hug, because he believed in me. So.
Caleb, I know about complementary football, especially in this program. A ton of big plays from the defense today. Does that, from your perspective as an offensive player, does getting a short field, getting that turnover, giving you guys the ball back, does that put a little extra, pep in your step as you go out there?
Yeah, it does, because, momentum. That gives us momentum too, also, because we're attacking them and they just fail from scoring. So it's time for us to score. So I feel like, yeah. So.
You talked about your physicality taking you to another level, but I think something that's kind of gone unnoticed is patience for you as a runner. Is that something that you credit Coach Betts to as well? Or?
Yeah, and surprisingly, I was watching Le'Veon Bell's film in the NFL, and he's just so patient. And I'm just saying that to myself. I gotta stop always rushing stuff and just let it happen and let it open up for me. So that's what I'm continuing to doing and running hard. So when it opens, just run hard. So.
An emphasis for you this offseason?
Yeah, I had a lot of emphasis for me this season to get better pass blocking, being more physical, and just continue to do my thing. So.
How are you holding up physically? I see some blood. You've been getting a lot of carry. Just how are you doing physically?
I'm doing good. I feel like this is the other team, but I got this on my elbows. But nickels and bruises is part of football. So I just love the game, and I love how physical we are and other teams are. So it's really fun.
All right, thanks, Caleb.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Caleb.
Go ahead.
All right, questions for Cade?
Cade, how nice is it that it didn't feel like a tale of two halves? I mean, you guys really seemed like put together a complete football game. You guys got the pass game going late, and you guys scored on 7 straight drives at one point. I guess how satisfying is it for you guys to continue to make progress?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's what we're trying to do every single week. Whether, we win or we lose, we're trying to get better. And I think, that's kind of probably the most thing I'm most proud of this week is, if I didn't feel like there's any lack of intensity or any times where, our mistakes really influence, the pace of the game or our momentum. And for us to, like you said, put two halves together. We knew going into halftime, that was our opportunity. That this is our opportunity. I think it was Coach Lester that mentioned it. He's like, all right, we took care of the first half, but let's go out there and let's finally play a full game of football. And I think we were able to do that today.
Mason said something in there about he thought the receivers actually had a really good practice.
Yeah.
Are you seeing like incremental progress, I guess, just with this whole offense each week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of as I said, like win or loss. I mean, we're making progress, and I think as Mason mentioned, the wide receivers had their best week in practice this week, and I think the pace that they're playing with, like today, when I'm able to hit Seth, and that was man coverage, and for us to be able to make plays dynamically, and for us to convert on the third downs that we're doing, it's huge for our offense, and we're just continuing trying to get better.
Hey, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions today. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever I can, add a couple tuds and no turnovers, that's, I'm just doing everything I can to help the team win.
What did you see in the touchdown pass to Dayton Howard, and what's really stood out to you about him kind of in this last year and a half or so?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just been his progression too. I mean, last year he was a scout team guy, and then here he is now, and he's, catching touchdowns and, spiking balls in the end zone. He's gotten so much better, and he's gotten a lot more mature, since last year. And I think, I love it when, the younger guys are able to see, that level of success, and when, they can notice that, when I put in the work and when I'm humble and when I'm, and then when I finally do it in practice, and then now when it comes to game time and you actually execute and you see the, really just the summary of what all that work equals to, I mean, I'm just couldn't be happier for the guy.
I feel like we've all asked you about Caleb Johnson a lot this season, but just how much easier does playing the game become with a running back like that's able to produce like that?
Yeah, I think really just the biggest impact that it has, was that Dayton touchdown, was when we're able to, play action. I mean, in games in the past, it's been a lot of our movements, but kind of just based on their front, we felt like we could, take advantage of them in different ways. But I think, especially when we're able to, establish a run, it really sets up the play pass nice. And I mean, that's basically what just happened on Dayton's, that we were able to, suck all the linebackers in, and then I was able to, find Dayton over the middle. And I mean, all he had to do was, really catch it, and I just had to locate the ball, and there was no one else after that.
Seth Anderson caught your first pass as a Hawkeye last year for a touchdown, and then this year he hasn't played until today, but he got in a lot, had a catch. Kind of what's his path or growth been since he was injured earlier in the year, and what does he bring to your offense?
Yeah, I mean, Seth brings a lot of speed to our offense. I think, he's very explosive with the ball in his hands, and, it's just really unfortunate. I know how he feels, when you're being, held back by injury, and, that's not a good feeling, but, shout out to him for persevering, and, this has really been his first, really big game, since, this season, really, and, for him to go in there and make an impact like he did today, that's huge for us.
Defense caused a lot of turnovers, blocked a field goal, and got the Huskies off the field on 4th down on 3 different drives. From your perspective as an offensive player, especially with how important complementary football is in this program, does it really give the offense a boost to be coming out on a short field or to see the ball sort of given back to you by the defense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really just for the amount of times that we had a short field today was huge. And I think, that makes our job a lot easier when we don't have to travel 30 yards to just get into enemy territory. So for us to already start, and I think it allows us to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think, it really just, that's the momentum and the pace that we're able to play with when, we're able to, use the momentum of the defense, and then we're able to get off the ball like we do. And especially when a run game's working like that, I mean, it's pretty easy to get a team on their heels when we're, playing like that and really playing good complementary football.
Okay, you've been outspoken of your appreciation for Coach Ferentz. How cool is it to be the starting quarterback at win number 200?
I feel like, it's an honor to be on any team with Coach Ferentz, and for us to be just witness, true greatness. I think it's very humbling for every dude in this locker room that, whatever, we're going through, whatever guy's been in and out of that locker room who's worn, the jersey, whatever guy's worn 12 before me, and, or like Jay, who's won 34 before him. It's I feel like it's so humbling as an Iowa football player that, just the amount of experience and wisdom that Coach Ferentz and the impact that he has on this program, this state, and, us as a team. And I think, for me, it's a true honor to be a part of a team coached by Coach Ferentz, let alone just a really monumental milestone like that.
Cade, what was working with your offense and your ability to stay on schedule? I'm seeing you guys average 9.1 yards on first down. It obviously makes things easier, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the more that we're able to do that. I think, even, last week I thought our 3rd down conversion rate was really good. I think, that's the step that we took this week, was that on 1st and 2nd down, we weren't, leaving ourselves in 3rd and longs, or we're giving ourselves, short distances, to the next down. That way, maybe we can be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd and short. And then, if it's 3rd and short, then we can, we know we have 2 downs to get it. And I think just that kind of adds to just the longer that we're on the field, the more the defense is off the field, and we're able to, keep drives going.
I think it was the second offensive drive of the game, the first one that you guys scored on. It seemed like there was just a variety of run plays. Weejan got a carry. Can you just maybe provide some insight to the creativity that Tim maybe is just giving you guys in terms of the different ways that you guys can run the ball?
Yeah, I think that kind of goes to the personnel that we have on this team, that we have a lot of different playmakers, and, like a guy like Weege, that's our kick returner and punt returner, so there shouldn't be anyone better in space than Weege. And, for us to, for the guys like that, for, Coach Lesser to put them in those opportunities, that's huge. And I think, especially that drive, it just felt like, once we got that first down, and then we established some tempo that, I thought, we were just going to roll from there, honestly. I felt, really at the beginning of that drive, once we were able to establish the run, and then Luke had a nice little conversion over the middle, and then we're able to, by then, we're already towards the fringe. So I think, the more, obviously, the variety of plays and run plays and pass plays that we're able to, confuse the defense, the more that we can get them going side to side, and, that's when we're able to crease them.
Cade, 40 points in week 1, 40 points today.
talking with Mason, he said this one felt a little bit more cohesive. Would you agree with that? And where has his team come from since then?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've grown a lot. You know, I think, you know, we've had our fair share of, you know, success and adversity at this point, and I think in terms of the direction for this team for the rest of the season, I think this was probably the most important game of the entire season. I think up until this point, I think, you know, for us to be able to get back on our feet, you know, play a complete game of football, you know, show, you know, what we're able to do, play to our potential, but also, you know, there's always still room to get better at. I think this was a big step for our team.
All right, thanks, Cade.